Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 14. So you guys, I'm off today, okay? I am on location. I'm coming to you from Mister's car, and we are in the great state of Tennessee, okay? So he got, normally I nigga rig. See, I'm looking in the wrong place. Normally I nigga rig shit, but he got all this official setup stuff. So I'm using this gimbal. And it keeps moving all over, and the camera's supposed to be on this side, and it's on this side, and I can't get it to work right. And so I'm gonna be looking all over the place. I'm just letting you guys know. But yeah, we're on location. I'm actually on my way back to Atlanta, but I needed to make sure I did this video and get it edited. Tennessee is nice. At least Nashville is. A lot of white people, which is fine. Rocky ain't got no problem with the white folks. It's just that when you're from, being in Atlanta so long and it's just black people everywhere, white people you be around, but what I'm saying, it'd be black people too. Ain't no black people in Nashville, not at least not where we are, y'all. So anyway, y'all, that's neither here nor there. The review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, I keep on wanting to look to the left and I need to be looking to the right. So you guys, the show opens with LaTisha still talking to Dr. Frantic. He's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on exactly with LaTisha and Marceau. Has he ever deceived you? And she was like, well, not that I know of. And to make a long story short, you guys, Dr. Frantic gets her to understand that maybe Marceau just wants her to be at the house barefoot and pregnant all the time, taking care of their many, many kids. It's common sense, LaTisha. He wants you to be interdependent. At least that's the way that intradependent, is that the word that she used? He wants you to basically depend on him because it would be harder for you then to leave him. If you always need him, then how are you going to leave him? And it was like the light bulb went off. She kind of had this look on her face like, oh, I never thought about it that way. He was like, does he need you for anything? And she was just like, well, maybe just sexual needs. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Dr. Francis was like, yeah, maybe you need to explore that a little bit more. He just wants LaTisha to understand and value herself as a person first before you start thinking of yourself or valuing yourself just as somebody's wife or somebody's mother. Okay, you were somebody before any of that happened. So with this knowledge, she goes and she talks to Marceau later on in the show, and Marceau was telling her that, well, he had fired Uncle Mike. That was the one that was over the Scott compound, because it wasn't working out well. But he spoke to one of the architects, the leading architect at the firm, and they want another chance. Okay, just give us one last chance. And so Marceau, out of the mercy of his heart, is going to give his Uncle Mike one more chance to get it right. Now, the second annual Destiny race that they have set, that is something that their foundation has set up. It's a 5K run, and the money goes to their foundation, and it helps low-income families, get to where they want to be. Okay, hence the name Destiny Race. LaTisha was just like, so I reached out to the girls, and only Mel and Destiny responded. I didn't hear from anybody else, but oh well, babe, we got a whole lot of work to do. She asked him how he's feeling about all that, and he was just like, just life in general. He's been feeling disconnected lately. And she was just like, she knows he's been feeling disconnected. So has she. I mean, she's been saying that for the longest, that they haven't been connecting together. And he was just like, a lot has happened with the pandemic. I'm working, trying to finish up these projects. You are at home with the kids, the coronavirus, like all of this is going on. Yes, it's been a lot on his shoulders, and he's been quite stressed. What's funny about Marceau is he takes all of this stuff on, then he kind of complains about it. Like, you don't let anybody else help you. You got a wife that's basically crying out to you every fucking time we turn around that she wants to do something, and you telling her you got it. Yet and still you're sitting there and you're complaining about what's all been on your shoulders. Okay, it's funny. It's just like either you deal with it and don't say shit, or let somebody help you. All right, but he says that he doesn't let it ruin his life, you know, because whenever he has a bad day, it doesn't last the whole day. He figures it out, he gets through it, and that's it. But see, LaTisha's whole thing is she feels like they should be getting through these things together. So she tells him, well, I went to see Dr. Frantic again. And it's so funny because whenever something happens that there might be an issue on this show, Carlos cues the scary music. It goes, it's like it sounds like a scary sound effect from a horror movie. But anyway, she said that she went to go see Dr. Frantic. Dr. Frantic told her, you know, don't give up yourself as a wife and as a mother. Don't lose yourself there. The trade-off isn't worth it as far as Dr. Frantic is concerned. And so she's telling Marceau that, and Marceau says, you know, Dr. Frantic might not have the whole story correct, okay? These therapists and everything, as far as Marceau is concerned, are good as long as they know the whole story, all right? And granted, Dr. Frantic is only getting LaTisha's side, but that's not LaTisha's fault. She tried to get Marceau to come, and the nigga won't go, okay? So what we supposed to do here? So he was just like, Dr. Frantic telling you that, but, you know, maybe you need to look at it differently. You could be considered a good wife and a great mom. I was like, not a great wife. He said a good wife and a great mom, you know. You're a commercial developer. Okay, you're an entrepreneur. All right, you're a good friend. You're a inspiration to others. You're a great daughter. Like, these are all the things that make up who you are. You know, you aren't just a wife and a mother. She was just like, yeah, Marceau, she understands that. But I was just like, you know how it is. You just try to figure out, you know, what works for you. You know, you eat the meat and throw away the bone. Okay, he was just like, yeah, but you eat the gristle and the fat too. I was like, what's wrong with the gristle and the fat? I love a piece of gristle my damn self. But it's the age-old conversation between Marceau and LaTisha. You know, he was just like, LaTisha, the whole thing is I always look like a liar. If we just gonna go by social media, then, you know, they always say I'm doing something. I'm always a cheater, you know? If I am a cheater and I got these kids out there, I must be the best fucking cheater out there, because ain't nobody turned up no babies, okay? And supposedly he said that he has 2. I was like, oh, has another one been added to the mix? And that's the same thing that I've been saying, you guys. We know how these reality show works. Whenever somebody has dirt on you, they cannot wait to bring it to the forefront. The fact that we still ain't seen nobody come up with that, Marceau ain't got no fucking kids out there, you guys. It's just not what it is. So anyway, that's the conversation that Marceau and LaTisha have, okay? Same thing, different day. Now, next we see Mel. She's walking with her kids, her and Martel's kids. They're on their way to the park. They're about to tackle one of their assignments from their therapist. Okay, remember, them two are going to the therapist. What was her name? Miss Price. They're trying to make sure that they can co-parent successfully. So this is their first assignment, sitting down with the kids at the park and talking to each other cordially and talking to the kids and letting them express themselves and all of that, okay? And I'm like, Lord, please don't get to fighting in front of these kids, okay? Now, the whole conversation with the kids is actually very sad. I won't make fun of it, okay? Because, you know, these kids definitely have been affected, as most kids are when their parents get divorces, especially at this age when kids can't really understand that there may be issue between the parents. All they know is they want their parents to be together, and now they're not. You know, so of course these kids are like most other kids. They want their parents to be together. They don't want them to have step parents. You know, they don't want to be around anybody else. They want Martel and Melody to be back together. It was sad when the little boy said that he didn't have to cry anymore, you know, if he knew that those two were back together. And my heart broke for him because, you know, these kids, they are being truthful. They're saying exactly how they feel. The funny thing about this conversation is Martel is still in that mode. I really think that Martel believes his own bullshit. You know, we say it every week and we act like we surprised, and then every week he shows us that he does believe his own bullshit, and we should not even be surprised at this point, okay? But when he's talking in his confessional and he says that, you know, they did have a great marriage, but, you know, that's not what it is anymore, and, you know, and I was just like, he makes it seem like they just grew apart. and that there wasn't a major issue with this infidelity, and a baby. Infidelity is one thing. You got a whole baby out there. So that's what irritates us with Martell, is just like, you never want to look at the whole entire picture of why we are even sitting on this grass having this conversation with children who are really too young to even be having this conversation, really. And that's how we find out that these kids have been exposed to a lot, because one of the, when they ask him, does he have a secret crush? All right. And he says, yeah, my secret crush is you guys. And they were just like, oh, nigga, don't listen, we know about you and what you do. And another thing is, that these kids talk to each other. Okay. At least the 3 older ones. Of course, the baby is not going to be able to say nothing, but them 3 kids, I think they've had a conversation or 2 about this. All right. The one little girl goes, well, she blasts him about going into a hotel with another woman. And he was just like, going into another hotel. And she was just like, yeah, I saw you. And he was like, you saw me? Who are you with? And she was like, mommy. And of course, Mel was just like, well, she's not lying. And Martell was like, why was she at the hotel in the first place? The whole thing is, listen, I don't know if you guys have been in relationships that has fallen the fuck apart. Okay. Sometimes you be out. Sometimes in the heat of it, you might rush by this hotel because that's where the nigga's at. You might have your daughter with you because you just picked them up from school, okay? You can't leave a baby in the fucking car. You thinking maybe they too young to even realize what's going on, but these kids obviously are watching. So Mel, for whatever reason, had the little girl with her when she was looking at Martell walking into some hotel with some woman. And I'm sure Mel was pissed off. She might have got on the phone and called one of her girls or something. Or, and again, you be so pissed, you don't be thinking about them kids. You don't think these kids are impressionable enough to even realize what's going on. But that little girl obviously was watching and listening, okay? So she was just like, once she saw that Martell was reacting the way that he was, she was just like, mommy, don't say anything. And Mel was like, I know, baby, it's our little secret. But that right there lets you know that these kids are way more involved that maybe Mel and Martell would like to think, or that they know that these kids are involved. And, Mel is just sort of like, oh, well, I didn't really want it to go this way, but that's how it went. And Martell, of course, is the one that's saying, like, you should protect me. Why should I protect you when you haven't protected me? Yes, in a perfect world, that's how we should be. We should be able to just, but that is you asking for somebody to turn a mighty blind eye to the fact that you have this baby out there and I'm still supposed to protect you. Anyway, so that conversation goes left. Okay, Mel was just like, well, babies, you guys want to just go over there and play for a little while? And if you would have saw the camera on the little boy saw that went left. Okay, the fact that the little girl said that she saw the little boy saw Martell going into the hotel with the woman, because he kind of looked down like, shit. Right when we was all getting along pretty good, then you had to go and say that. Well, he didn't look like he was mad at the little girl. I think he was just upset that the conversation was swaying in the other direction again. It's obvious if mommy is watching daddy walk into a hotel with a woman, that probably means they won't be getting back together, at least no time soon. So anyway, she sends them off, okay, because it is about to go left. So when they walk away, Mel says, so when are you going to let the kids know that they have a sibling? I know you said you want to introduce them to the little, he had a girl, right? To the little girl, but she doesn't say little girl, I'm just saying a little girl. But I know you wanted to introduce them, but when are you going to do it? Because Mel wants to be around, because she wants to see how they're going to react and make sure that they're on the same page like the therapist had told them, or the life coach, or whatever she is. And Martell was just like, well, Mel, I do want to do it. I want to do it soon. Okay. But then again, he's not really sure when he should do it. Is even right now the right time? Because look at Mel. Mel was in a similar situation. And it's not really similar. Mel just didn't know that she had siblings until she was like 18. And Mel was just like, yeah, Martell, but your situation is on a whole nother level. And he was like, oh, here it goes. I'm about to get blamed for this again. And she was just like, no, what I'm saying is that the kids are more likely to find out from another source. It's not the same as when I was young. We didn't have social media. We wasn't able to Google things and get on the internet and YouTube and all of that. So that's what she's trying to say. So don't get all offended and shit. So he was like, I'm going to do it, just not sure when, and I'm not sure if I want you to be around. I don't even know if that's, if that's an option. Okay. But if Martell says that, whatever. So then we switch gears and she was just like, I had a conversation with Chris. And he was like, you did, huh? And she was just like, mm-hmm. All right. And, she tells him that she wants to build these houses. And, he was just like, well, Mel, I didn't think that you was interested in it. You've never been interested in building houses before. And she was just like, Martell, don't even tell that lie. I have been building houses for 10 years, facilitating projects, from the roof to the HVAC. Do not say that I don't build houses. He was just like, Mel, you've never been interested in doing it. It don't even matter at this point. She has the license. She can do it if she wants to. So if she says she want to do the fucking property, then really, that's what she wants to do, Martell. So you can keep on saying that you didn't think that she wanted to. She was just like, well, how about you ask me? Let me tell you what I want to do, even though I'm saying it right now. Okay. And Martell finally is just like, okay. Let's just cut it. You want to build houses? Fine. Okay. You and Chris and all that, that's fine. Because we got the kids out there. And like I said, these two don't need to get to fighting in front of these kids, especially not on TV anyway. I'm sure that they've done it before in front of them kids, but let's try not to scar these kids any more than they've already been scarred. Now, jumping over to the Whitlow's 1-year anniversary at the baseball field. They invite everybody out, the people on the show, of course, and some family and friends, because they're going to have a friendly game of baseball. All right. And the family is going to watch on. I was just like, what a boring, who cares about that? Can you imagine being like, yeah, come on down to the baseball field and watch us 8 people get out here. Child, nobody feel like all that. So anyway, and it's supposed to be, memorable because this is where they got married and all of that. So the family comes on out. They have one of their friends that's going to act as the pitcher. We have the Scotts 1.0 and 2.0 on one team, which would be LaTisha, Marceau, Maurice, and Kimmy. And then on the other team, we have Mel, Martell, Tiffany, and Lewis. And to make a long story short, they get out there. They actually look like they're having fun. You can tell that this is a group, minus Lewis and Tiffany, of course. They're new to the group, but you can tell the rest of them are very comfortable around each other. They are probably truly friends that have known each other way before they got on this show. So they always can manage to have a good time. So that was fine. Destiny gets there late. She says that she's not a baseball person, but whatever. Okay, so the gang's all here. After the game is over, they all go inside and, they're introducing everybody to the family that's there. And then we section them off. So we got the family over on the other side and, we got to deal with this show. So Mel and Martell and Lewis and Tiffany and Maurice and Kimmy, they go sit down, and Destiny. And Destiny was like, well, where's Marceau and LaTisha? And they were like, oh, they had to go do something with their foundation. They'll be back later. But when we sit down, like I just told you guys, it's obvious that they are friends. They know each other very well. Not only does Mel and Martell manage to push each other's buttons, but the guys, especially in a way that they just consider just teasing somebody, they also managed to push Martell's buttons, okay? And that was obvious when Maurice pointed out that it was their anniversary. Martell and Mel's anniversary. It's July 19th, is their anniversary. He probably feeling some kind of way. Okay, so let Martell, don't tease Martell about anything. That would piss me off too. Because, yeah, even if you did realize it was our anniversary, why you got to bring it up now? Because you already know me and Mel, we about to start arguing. All right, we cannot control ourselves. So why are you bringing that up? So when Maurice says that, Mel was just like, okay, listen, Martell might be feeling emotional because on July 19th, it would have been our wedding anniversary. This nigga gonna say, dog, I forgot all about that. Nigga, you ain't forgot nothing. Mel was just like, so he probably feels it in his soul. I can tell that. Even though it probably is the truth. You putting Martell on the spot. Of course, you backing him into a corner. He is about to just say any old damn thing like Martell is good at doing. He's so ignorant. Martell's thing is that he divorced Mel. I don't ever want it to be known that Mel divorced me. I'm the one that said that I wanted to get a divorce. And then I was just like Kanye. He told Kim Kardashian that he wanted to get a divorce, and then he let Kim go and file a divorce eventually. And Mel was just like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, what? Rewind that back. We're gonna talk about this. Okay, go on here and say what you said. He's the one that said that he wanted a divorce and he let Mel go and do it. And Mel was just like, that is a lie, Martell, and you know it. So Martell is in full nigga about the lie mode, okay, to do whatever he got to do to make himself look better. But the whole thing is, Martell, we watched 2 seasons, okay? We watched 2 seasons of you getting caught in this relationship with this other woman, Mel saying that she wanted a divorce, and that you clearly did not want this divorce. Now, we seen it with our own fucking eyes. Don't try to Jedi mind trick us and make us think that we did not see this, all right? He says that he was the one that originally said that he was going to initiate, and they do show a clip. They do show a clip. But clearly, Martell was not serious then when he said that. And remember when Mel was trying to say that he needed to get out the house and he pitched a fucking bitch fit and she ended up letting him stay in the house but in a different room? And remember how he was going on and he was like, we never get a divorce and we not. Okay, so but now 2 seasons later, this nigga want to act like he was the one that said he wanted to get a divorce. Boy, come on now. We all saw this. This is why I keep saying that Martell believes his own bullshit. He thinks he can rewrite history. That shit is funny as fuck. So, of course, they're arguing. I said, Po Tiffany's family over there was like, oh, Lord, so this is it live and in living color, huh? Yeah, this is how they get down at they little gatherings. Okay, Tiffany, well, are we celebrating love today? No, not right now, baby. You already know that Mel and Martell got a fight. So, Lou is trying to explain to Martell that it don't even really matter who filed for divorce. The who is not important here. The why. The why is what is important. Why did you guys get a divorce? Nobody says that part, but that's what I'm saying. You got a divorce because you cheated and you had a baby, okay? So even if you did file for a divorce, the shit was over, okay? And Martell was just like, well, she shouldn't be lying either, okay? I'm a man, but she's a woman, and woman shouldn't be. I was just like, Martell, where do you come from? You know, Louis basically want to tell him that he's being bitch made. You acting like a bitch, okay? That's what women do. Women are catty. Okay, you being just as catty and you lying about it than any of these women that's sitting up in here in this circle. I mean, that Martell just get to saying anything, saying how she cheated. You know, she was always going to some hotel when they were in college. She was like, boy, I didn't never cheat on you in college. You know that. And he was just like, oh, I don't know what you was doing. I don't know what you was doing. I said, Martell, you are a fucking mess. Okay, so again, they arguing. Louis and Tiffany, they try to reroute it. You know, they try to explain to him that, yes, divorce is difficult and you guys will always, you know, sometimes there will be some issues, but you're going to always have to deal with each other because you guys have kids and you have little kids. So you guys are really going to have to deal with each other for a long ass time. So everybody needs to be able to get around to possibly getting along better. And then here come Mel. Well, you know what, Tiffany, that's right. But it's not easy when you're dealing with someone that is emotionally immature. You know, I want me and Martell to be better. I do. I want us to be in a good place. And he was just like, oh, girl, you a good actor. You was a good actor. Oh, it is hot. I'm sorry, y'all. It's hot as hell in here. I don't know how to work his air that well. I'm sorry, that's loud, huh? Let me just... I'm sorry. Okay, you guys. Martell was just like, oh, girl, you was a good actor. You a good actor. Because all the stuff that you be saying about me on social media, and she was just like, what, Martell? When is the last time... When did I say anything about you on social media recently? And he was just like, I'm not talking about recently. I'm talking about period. And I was like, well, fuck, you guys have all said stuff on social media, period. Now, we talking about the whole time that y'all been on this show. Y'all live on social media. I told you guys from the beginning of this season that I've been reviewing anyway, that if they would get their ass off social media, they wouldn't even probably be as bitter with each other as they have been, okay? And hell, Martell is good at being on social media. He just recently, I posted on my stories when he blasted them boys talking about, it was a picture of him, Maurice, Martell, and Louis, and he said that all of them are single, okay? Even, he just the only one that ain't got a ring, okay? Now, who says some shit like that? You done threw your boys under the bus, Even if they are cheating, why would you get on social media and say that, blast you? No, what happened to the bro code? So Martell clearly doesn't have that part in him, okay? It's just like he gonna drag anybody down with him he can. So the shit is just bad. It ain't getting no better. And finally, Lewis was just like, you know what? Let's go outside. Let's go outside and let the women finish having their conversation. So Martell and Maurice and Lewis, they go outside. And they was just like, Martell, why do you have to do this every time we all get together? Because really, clearly, you guys, it's getting tiresome. All right, I understand that we are on watching this show and we've got to watch the growing pains of Mel and Martell and everything, but it's just sort of like it's the same thing over and over and over again. You guys clearly are not at the point where you can see eye to eye, agree to disagree, any of that. So it's just sort of like we are so over watching this, you know, but Martell's whole thing was just like both women and men, you know, should either lie and be fine with it, or like, what is Martell even saying? Okay. Maurice was like, boy, you keep on saying that it ought to be equal across the board, and it's not like that. It's never been that way. It's always been a double standard, Martell. Listen, life don't change just because Martell got caught cheating. But anyway, inside, Marceau and LaTisha get there. And when they get there, it's obvious that it's some tension. You know, Marceau was just like, I could tell it was too much estrogen up in there. Everybody kind of had a look on their face. So I'm going to exit stage left and go outside with the fellas. Okay, so when he get out there, they was like, boy, you missed it. He was just like, what, Martell was Martelling again? Oh, Martell was Martelling at the highest of martellation. Okay, yes, Martell martold. And he was just like, that nigga be in the back just warming up like, I'm fixing to Martell, I'm fixing to Martell, I'm fixing to Martell. Martell is always gonna be that way. He probably was that way before even him and Mel. He probably is just that kind of person, just believes his own bullshit, just believes his own bullshit. But anyway, back inside, they're also trying to tell Mel that y'all gonna have to figure out a way to get past this, okay? Basically, communication is key. And Mel was just like, well, what am I supposed to do? Can I get up and leave? Should I just leave the room? And they were like, no. I mean, yeah, you could do that. But the better thing is stop giving him the energy. Stop giving him the power over how mad you get. Okay? So, I mean, it's a work in, I know it's a work in progress. Nobody expects them to just, Mel especially, to be able to just get on. Nobody is saying hurry up and get over it. But what we're saying is we don't feel like listening to you guys fucking argue every time we get together. So anyway, LaTisha, switching it up again, she was just like, well, you guys, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about the Destiny race. She sent everybody a text message in the group text, and only Mel and Destiny have responded, you know? And she was just like, I didn't hear from Kimmy or Tiffany. And Kimmy was just like, oh, I can show you on your website where I did the donation. And she was just like, yeah, but I'm just talking about me sending the text message. You didn't respond. And so basically, Kimmy feels a way about the fact that LaTisha sent the message to her asking for the donations in the group text instead of reaching out to her individually, calling her on the phone like they normally do. Okay, she said she felt a kind of way about it. At first, I thought Kimmy was tripping, but then I thought about it and I said, okay, so if I had a girlfriend, me and her been close, we've been cool or whatever, we've always just picked up the phone and called each other, but then there's also been like this background fuzz about maybe us having some issues with communication and all of that, but we trying to work on strengthening our friendship back up. Okay, so if me and my girlfriend had a relationship like LaTisha and Kimmy, okay, I would probably be aware if my girlfriend just sent me a message like that in group text instead of just calling me like she normally does, okay? And maybe I would feel a way too, because it's just like, girl, how you just... So what Kimmy was saying, that it felt like she did it intentionally to kind of point out like, okay, girl, we're not really close like that no more, so I'm gonna send you this thing in the group text like that. Okay, so Kimmy was feeling offended like about that, and LaTisha was just like, oh, I just did it because, you know, I just sent it as a group text. And she was like, that's fine, you sent it as a group text, but you still never contacted me. Okay, so I felt like you were trying to make a point is what Kimmy said. I don't know if Kimmy was able to get that point across to LaTisha quite clearly, but then the truth comes out because she was like, well, I call all the time. You know, you never call. So she was like, so then LaTisha was saying, yeah, I didn't call you on purpose because I'm tired of calling you. You don't call me. All right. And Kimmy was just like, but I never really call. You know, I'm just not a caller, you know, but you've always called me. And so then it was just like, okay, both of them have their points. All right. Sometimes people do get tired of being the one that always reaches out. All right. I am not necessarily a caller either. So I can understand how Kimmy probably felt. But then when I have to try to look out for my friends, when they feel like, well, damn, Roxanne, you didn't call me. But it never is for me to, when I don't call, it's not me trying to ignore you. It's just that I'm not a caller, you know. But I can see how that would affect the other person on the other end. They could probably start to think that I don't care, especially when we already have a lot of this other dust in the background, right? So they both have their points. But when LaTisha said that she gonna treat people the way that they treat her, now it's like, oh, it wasn't just a slip of the, it just wasn't a slip. You purposely did that. So Kimmy is correct that you did that with the intent on trying to make her feel a way about it. So we still can't really be 100% on LaTisha's side. Y'all be trying. I be rationalizing it and all, and I still can't always be on Kimmy's side. I mean, LaTisha's side. But again, Kimmy can't always expect people to be calling her either, you know? So whatever, we get past that. And then LaTisha takes it a little further, and this is when it really gets to be petty. And then it really gets to be that LaTisha has a problem. She was just like, well, you know, I know you be busy and you be planning things and you invite me to stuff. And Kimmy was just like, what haven't I invited you to? And she was just like, well, if you ain't gonna say, you know, if you're not gonna say, then I'm not either. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? Like, why can't you say what it is? Well, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking directly to Kimmy. And Kimmy didn't invite me to something. And she was just like, what is it that I've planned? Can you just tell me so we can get it clear right now? Because as far as Kimmy is concerned, she hasn't planned anything that she has invited LaTisha to. So I'm not sure if LaTisha knows something and she's just trying to keep it quiet, or if she's just feeling some kind of way in her own LaTisha world in her head. So she was just like, well, I'm not going to say. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe you haven't, you know, if you say that you haven't, which is annoying, because either say the shit or don't. Like, don't be all in this passive aggressive, like, well, I'm not going to say nothing. You know, clearly LaTisha thinks that she has some sort of trick up her sleeve. Okay. And I mean, I guess we can just wait to see what it is. But, you know, the girls are just like, the bitch ain't making no sense. Like, you sitting up here and you saying it, but you not saying it. Are you making this up? Is this something real? Tell Kimmy so we can get this figured out. But like Mel said, I don't think that LaTisha and Kimmy left their issues in Las Vegas at all. These two can't seem to get back on the same page. And maybe they don't need to at this point. Shit, I'm tired of it all. All right, you guys, I keep on looking over here and all over. I'm sorry. We'll be back to normal next week. I am going to be reviewing Insecure. That will be up tomorrow, okay? Along with Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to get on. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. And everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.